Hey friends, I've been really struggling with my health lately and haven't felt like recording, but I am back and trying to get on a regular schedule. So stick with me, y'all. Something I've been considering is maybe a posting schedule, like on Monday mornings, around 10 or 11 a.m. I will post a video of a Monday morning recap, the gypsy drama, celebrity drama, whatever from the weekend. And then maybe Wednesdays be like a cooking vlog type video, and then a live on Fridays. What do y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments if you think that sounds like a good schedule. If you have any suggestions, let me know. So as most of you who watch my channel and watch anything in the Gypsy verse will know, today is the 10-year anniversary of Dee Blanchards' murder. And while everyone who watches my channel, again, will know that I have complicated feelings about Dee because I'm from Aurora, Missouri, and my friends and family were among the people that she defrauded and thieved from in order to give Gypsy the life that she did. But this is not the day, in my opinion, to talk about any of that. Because no matter what Dee did wrong, and she didn't deserve the death penalty, in my opinion. So to just remember the positive attributes of Dee today, I want to mention that everyone in my circle that knew her always talked about how extremely sweet Dee was, and that her manners were always impeccable, and that she insisted upon them with Gypsy. Gypsy actually has said in her Lifetime show to Kian that one thing that her mom did right was manners, and that she wanted to try and replicate with that with Aurora. We'll see if that happens. I don't personally think it's going to. Because after Dee's been gone, Gypsy's manners went to hell, as we all know. But anyway, back to the subject. I have lighted a little candle for peace for Dee, the spirit, today. So I want to show a short video of silence on that. Now that we've taken a moment of respect for Dee, let's talk about the unfortunate creation she wrought and put upon the earth. Let's talk about Gypsy's latest video. Gypsy has now decided that she is an anti-cyberbullying activist, and she clearly really thinks she's doing something with that little no cyberbullying printout behind the back of her head. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit so that we don't have to listen to her voice for as long, but let's take a look at what she's got to say, y'all.
I want to talk about the dangers of cyberbullying.
It's very dangerous. Cyberbullying is very dangerous. We all know that there is the 10-year anniversary of a death that happened that should not have happened, and only did because Gypsy Rose spent 2 years cyberbullying an autistic man into doing it for her.
I think that in America and honestly all over the world, we are facing a huge problem with cyberbullying right now.
That's definitely correct, and that's one of the reasons why I think anyone who gets released from prison and used social media or the internet in any way for planning their crime and procuring their weapons and their patsy for matricide, I think they should not be allowed back on social media. That should be an automatic IP ban for life on all platforms.
The areas in which I think are the pitfalls of social media is that, yes, there's community guidelines that are put in place on these platforms such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. So there are community guidelines that are put in place to prevent cyberbullying, harassment, doxing, and what have you.
No community guidelines on Christian dating for free or every other social media app that Gypsy used to communicate with Nick prevented her from doing what she did. We all know that. We know that certain people, community guidelines don't mean anything. Those types of people will see a sign on the door that says licensed professionals only, and this is a legal requirement, and just walk right past it because they think that the rules don't apply to them. And then when they're told that, hey, you're not allowed to shop here, I'm going to make an exception for you, they don't think about the welfare of the person who made the exception. They go on home and post it on TikTok to their 9 million followers.
But the problem lies is that there is a local law, there is state laws, there's federal laws. However, if you are in a situation that you're being harassed or bullied from someone in another state, say I'm in Louisiana and I'm being bullied from someone in a different state, Okay, my local law enforcement will not know how to handle something that is a federal situation.
This is hilarious because she's acting like federal versus state law is a brand new thing, and we need Gypsy Rose to come out here and outline it for us, y'all, so that we can understand.
And that is, I think, the biggest pitfall that people face when combating online bullying.
I mean, in my opinion, the biggest pitfall is the fact that people who use social media to literally plan murders get out of prison and are still allowed to use social media. That's the biggest pitfall and danger, in my opinion. What do y'all think?
The amount of people that I have seen personally myself be able to say such heinous and horrible things online with little to no reprimand.
Well, I guess she has a point there. There was little to no reprimand whenever she went online and started implying that Ryan abused her and then revealed his private medical information, which is really technically against the law, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, there's been little to no reprimand for any of Gypsy and her crew's online bullying.
By these companies or, social media guidelines. It's disturbing, and I really feel like this is an issue that does not get talked about enough.
Hey, we're finding a lot to agree with Gypsy on here. It is disturbing and it doesn't get talked about enough. But thankfully, we have wonderful commentators in the Gypverse that are talking about it, like myself, Toddy Oneskit, Becca Scoops, Into the Weeds, Cutting Board Dawn, Flawless Nina. There's so many people talking about it. That's a good thing. It sounds like maybe Gypsy agrees with us. What do y'all think?
And it goes beyond me. It's not just me that I am, speaking about this on.
Right again, Gypsy is definitely not the only cyberbully out there that we should worry about and speak on. Like, she has a whole team. Does anyone remember the F. Bree lie?
Time and time again, I have seen friends go through it. I've seen Ken go through it. I've seen my family go through it. And the level of just shit that they have to deal with.
I think most people would agree that everyone who is around Gypsy in her daily life on a regular basis has to deal with a lot of shit. Gypsy throws it at them all the time.
When just living their lives. And a lot of people are really just kind of unfiltered. And a lot of people are really just kind of unfiltered.
Well, that was an interesting thing for her to say. Let's take a look back to her Lifetime episode of what she had to say about her best friend posting stuff.
I don't always want to address rumors on social media, so Brie has the balls to just go at it. She's very unfiltered. She's very unfiltered. She's very unfiltered.
It sounds like being unfiltered is not a problem whenever it's someone who is defending her, but it is whenever it's someone who disagrees with her. However, it seems like she might be turning her back on Brie a bit. Let's take a look at a few other clips.
I couldn't do it myself. Felt like if I posted it myself, that he would have received a message that I'm trying to hurt him.
I said, Victor, will you please come kill my mother for me? Because I can't do it myself.
Why did you have Brie post instead of you posting?
I couldn't do it myself. The one that did the actual kill, not me. I can't kill anyone. That's why he's in trouble to begin with, because he's the one that did it.
Now, although Brie has previously, as I'm shown in this screenshot, said that she has permission from Gypsy to discuss anything that's talked about in her lives, Gypsy seems to be backtracking a bit on that some, as you can see in some screenshots here. Now, the story is she can't control what her friends do. She is only responsible for her own actions, which, like those clips I showed you, sounds very reminiscent of how she talks about Nick. Well, yes, I asked him to, but I didn't make him. I'm not responsible for what he did. I didn't do the actual kill. And eventually with Brie, I just bet it'll be, well, I didn't do those actual postings or make those videos, although she reposted them after Brie did, but she deleted them.
And there's so much that I feel like I hold back from saying on social media.
Oh, that's a scary thought because the things that she has said on social media have been rather ominous. Let's take a look, y'all.
My best to keep my calm. I have a very short fuse right now. You want me to take my shit down, right? Okay, how about you quit talking about me? It's been 3 fucking months since I texted you. And you're spiraling out of control. So just remember, just as much dirt as you have on me, I have on you, honey. You punch at me, I punch back 10 times harder.
Years old. I have a right to stand up for myself if somebody wants to talk shit to me. Now, being as I am on parole right now, I can't do that. People got me by the short and curlies on that one. But best believe I won't always be on parole.
Because I feel like it's not worth my time to spend my energy always correcting these rumors.
Stop. Get offline. Stop contradicting yourself in the public all the time and stop exploiting your infamy.
There is not a single word on the planet that people have not called me yet. And at this point, when they call me the Nword, at this point I'm like, okay, can you come up with something better?
Is that an invitation, a challenge, a contest? I mean, yes, people can come up with other things that are less factual than the M word. You gave that to yourself when you did what you did and pled guilty.
Because I've been being called that for years and years and years.
Because you did it, and you pled guilty to it. It's really not that complicated.
To my family, I'm not.
Oh, I bet you are, but that's just my opinion, y'all. What do y'all think?
To my friends, I'm not. I'm just Gypsy. To the people that love me and care about me, and I love them and care about them. To the general public, yes, I have a criminal history. Did I do the crime? Yes. Did I do the time? Yes. And now it's kind of like, move forward. What else is there to do?
Yes, you should move forward, Gypsy, get a job, get off social media, and then all the stuff that you're complaining about will stop because we're commentators and we talk about reality shows. We talk about what's in the media, what's on social media, and what's in the news. You get off Lifetime and social media and don't give us content, we won't have anything to talk about with you.
Move forward.
Yes, Gypsy, you do that.
There is nothing that's going to bring my mother back. There's nothing that I can do that is going to bring back that life. So all I can do is make myself a better person, raise my daughter to be a better person than what I was growing up.
In order to do that, you need to stop the social media grifting cycle right now and start learning for yourself the value of having a real job so that you're able to teach and impart that to her. Because Dee Dee did not do or give that to you.
For me, I know that I'm not perfect and I have done and said some things online that I regret.
She regrets that she was called out for those things. I don't see any regret for her actual actions. What do y'all think?
So, but I am growing from that, and I think that is, something we should all do. We should all grow from the experiences that we've done.
Where's the growth? Like, she was just doxing Ryan's phone number and his medical information a few weeks ago.
I want people to understand that just because, you have an opinion and you don't like someone, it's totally okay to just keep it to yourself.
That's funny. Remember that clip that I just showed of Lifetime where Gypsy was talking about how happy she was that Bree is her unfiltered friend who posts things that she can't?
And it's totally okay to have a voice as long as you keep it respectful.
Did her and her people keep it respectful whenever they were doxing and harassing?
That is, that's detrimental to someone's mental health. And at the end of the day, you just don't know how you are affecting someone's reputation, their livelihood.
Well, that's true. We all know that Gypsy and her team have gotten some of our favorite commentary creators fired, Flawless Nina being top of the list. And then, obviously, today is the 10-year anniversary of a death due to Gypsy doing online harassment of Nick to do an act for her that she did not feel capable of doing. And that act has culminated in a murder and a life imprisonment sentence of the people who did not mastermind it. the people who are not Gypsy. No repercussion really for Gypsy. 8.5 years baby sentence.
The way their kids view them, the way their sister, brother, family members view them. It is 100% accountability on your part to make the first step.
Let me show y'all how it went whenever Becca Scoops tried to take a first step with Bree in order to ensure safety of a person not related to any of this that was being doxed.
I'm following you. Becca's come up to speak to Bree, so if we can all go on mute and let you have this conversation, that'd be appreciated. Thank you. Hey, Becca.
Oh, hey, Bree. Hi. Hey guys. Bree?
I'm sorry, I was letting my
Can
dog.
you hear me?
Yes, I was letting my dog in.
Oh, that's all right. Can you? Oh, well, I'm with my dog too in the car, so I hope she's good. I hope she's good. Listen, Bree. I know we have a lot of differences, and we're not gonna, we're not going to talk them out here. Obviously, it's a long conversation, but I wanted to tell you something about my kids. I was kind of shocked a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. You know, people are always recording your lives, right, Bree? Right?
Right. I already know what you're going to go. I already know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say, Bree?
I know what you're going to say, and I was wrong. I actually held that in for a long time. But again,
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
I did. I actually messaged you about it, actually, personally, but you never got back to me.
I'm sorry I didn't see it.
But because that's not something that I ever want. But it was something that you said on live, and I'm not condoned. But it triggered me. It triggered me multiple things, and like.
Are we talking about my kids?
No. Wait, what?
Oh yeah. Okay. No, this is about my kids. But then you can tell me what you need to tell me, because I wasn't ignoring your whatever message you left me. I don't know where you left it, and I'm sorry I didn't see it, because I would get back to you if you messaged me.
Well, no, my message wasn't about your kids.
Okay. So do you know what I'm going to say about my kids right now, or no?
Well, your kids was a part of it, not necessarily your kids, but about the car.
Okay, yeah. So this is what you need to know, is that I have 3 sons, and
Right.
then Steve got married to someone else. They were married for about 6 months. I don't want to talk about that, Bree, not because it's bad for me. It's bad for her. It's bad for her, Bree.
Well,
Okay.
which is why I never talked about it before.
Yeah, and I don't. Okay, good, because there was a whole
so
trial.
Becca, did you come on here to make me the worst person in the world again, or did you come here to have a conversation?
No.
Because it seems like that. Because you're ready to see the shift in the comments. Because this is what everyone does.
No, I don't. I can't even see the comments, Bree, because I'm 60 years old and I can't even read them because it's
I'm not
too
talking
small
about
on
you
my
seeing
phone.
them. I'm not talking about you seeing them.
All right. So
Okay, I just know.
I can already tell the condescending tone that you're having. Like that's
trying
not
to
what
be
we're doing up
nice,
here. That's
Bree.
not what I want to do.
No. Okay.
no,
Because if you want to talk about this
I-
privately, we can. But that's not what's happening right now. You're doing something. Okay. I'm just saying, Jessica, that's exactly what's happening right here. So, go ahead and let it happen.
Bree, you talked about my kids on a live.
No.
That wasn't
I
private.
didn't talk about your
Bree,
kids. I talked about you.
you said my kids have a brother that they don't have, Bree. That's not true. There's no validity to that. Of course I'm going to be angry about it, Bree, because it's my kids.
you're muffled, Bree.
I'm gonna be mad that you're saying that, calling me a liar when I'm not a liar, and I'm never gonna prove it out there because that's nobody's business.
Bree, that woman does not have a son that's 17 years old by a man who died 30 years ago.
Okay, like I said, I'm not like if you want me to go into detail, I could.
Yes, she
No,
does.
Bree, listen to me very clearly, okay?
Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready for me to
Bree.
become the villain again? Y'all ready?
No,
Because this
you're
is what
not
Becca
villain.
does.
Bree, you got bad information.
No, I don't.
Yeah, Bree.
No, I literally
If that
don't.
boy,
I'm not gonna prove it on you because I'm not gonna do that to you.
If that boy was his son.
It's called frozen
What?
sperm. Becca, you want me to go there?
Bree,
Oh my God.
Bree, let me tell you something. I have proof that the boy himself has written that he is the stepbrother to my sons. Not biological, not the boy himself, Bree. Number two, if he was...
So come on here to make me look like a liar, even though I have proof. I'm trying not to do this publicly.
Bree, I'm only bringing it up because it's my kids.
No, you're doing that as a weapon. You're using your kids as a weapon right now.
You use my kids as a weapon.
No, I did not.
You brought them in.
Now let's go back to Gypsy's anti-bullying video and see how that behavior squares with what she's preaching now.
So you have that power, I have that power, we all have that power. I'm not one of those like people that are, cheesy and it's like peace, love, and hippie, whatever.
Yeah, nobody expected that from you, Gypsy.
But no, honestly, it is about kindness. Look at how much war, look at how much destruction people's anger has done to the world.
And most of us, even with all of the anger and war and destruction in the world, most of us have never had to plead guilty to matricide. But you have. But you think you can be out here preaching to us all. Good God.
And I feel like we are in a time now that hate and anger is just festering in every corner of the world. And cyberbullying is a epidemic of massive proportions that don't get talked about enough. So, as someone who does receive a lot of hate on social media, as well as a lot of support, I'm not going to say everybody hates me, but...
Y'all, she has over 9 million followers, and the book signing showed that she has real life supporters who will actually turn up in person. So with 9 million followers, real life support, a lifetime show, she's worried about a few of us small content creators? What on earth? Like, it makes really no sense. Toddy Oneskip and I were talking about this on the phone the other day, laughing about how if we had 9 million followers, we would not be worried about what content creators with, in Toddy's case, around 20,000 followers, in my case, just over 2,000. What on earth that we're saying? Like, not even slightly. Toddy started laughing. She was like, I know exactly what you'd be doing, millennial. You would be on live stream, painting, and talking about history. And she is so right. That's exactly what I'd be doing every day if I had 9 million followers.
I will say that, I've had my fair share. And how I deal with it. To anyone that's watching this video, I want to say, if you are receiving online bullying and harassment or bullying in any kind of way, my secret?
Oh, she has a secret, y'all. Did anyone actually think Gypsy Rose has a secret for dealing with online issues? She crashes out all the dang time. Says that, I would best believe I won't always be on parole. Y'all got me by the short and curlies. You're spiraling out of control. You punching me, I punch back 10 times harder. That's not someone who has a secret for dealing with online stress. Oh my God, y'all. She's unintentionally hilarious with the absolute ludicrous hypocrisy.
Is I have always had hope for a better tomorrow.
This is really weird advice coming from someone who got the entirety of their position through murder. My God, y'all.
And if tomorrow is shit, then a better next day after that. Because that hope has gotten me through everything in my life. That is my secret.
There's a secret, y'all. A gyp secret. That was pretty much the end of the TikTok version of her video. The YouTube one is, God, it's like 3 times longer. It's ridiculous. But now, of course, since she's put that out, people are being like, Gypsy, what about all the ridiculous shit that the F. Brie Lie did? And so she's put out this little public service announcement where she's basically denouncing all of it. Even though, let's not forget, every time Brie put something out like that, like she did about Becca Scoops, Gypsy shared it, y'all. She shared it. So what do y'all think is going to be the next step here? You think that we're going to see the fallout of Gypsy and Brie? Let me know in the comments, y'all, and I hope to see you on Wednesday for our live. Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central. Have a good day, friends.